but I also think it's every adult's job to protect them. Have you all been watching the Max documentary called Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV? OMG. Clip after clip of the child stars of their day being subjected to obviously inappropriate, highly sexualized degradation, and quite a few pickles going through glory holes. And get this, after Brian Peck, who was one of the lead creeps at Nickelodeon, served 16 months in prison for the molesting he did there, Disney hired him.
Now, the problem with what it is that Bill Maher is saying here isn't that he's wrong. It's that it's Bill Maher who's saying it. And what I mean is that for someone like myself who enjoys watching Bill Maher and his show Real Time, this isn't really problematic. Of course, for a person with my personality, if I heard Joe Rogan saying it, or if I heard Donald Trump saying it, I would still agree. The truth is the truth. It doesn't matter whether you're hearing it come from a dolphin or a lunatic of a human being. Now, with all that said, to get into the content of what Bill's talking about, it is interesting to note that this is a man who is very vocal about not having kids, not wanting to have kids. And I don't want to dwell on that because, then we get distracted and the whole message gets lost. I personally am neutral when it comes to children. I have the utmost respect for them. I don't have any kids of my own, and that may change. Although I also don't have a full-time job and don't know how I'm going to pay rent next month. So it's probably best for a guy like me not to have children. Neither here nor there. Point being, where are the adults in the room? Because clearly it's not entirely the fault of parents who don't understand the world of Hollywood. It is, however, the fault of those adults who may or may not be parents, like the Dan Schneiders in the room, who have a responsibility to protect children, but instead chose to exploit them for not really the pleasure of who were kids like me at that time in 2004, 2005, watching these programs on Disney and Nickelodeon. No, this was to give themselves pleasure. This guy Dan was notorious for having the women staff come and give him massages or just do anything to engage in some sort of physical touch. I mean, to say that the kids were being groomed is like some understatement. They were abused. There's no argument about that. And I don't understand how something like that, something like reasonable gun legislation in order to protect children from violence, and anything else that is somehow lofty now and in the political realm, the realm in which you can say yeah but to pretty much anything you want, I don't understand why this is now controversial. There's nothing controversial about protecting children, period, end of story. So thank you to Bill for pointing this out, and I really hope more people, because I know people have been saying it, the problem is whether it was Republicans saying it, then okay, Democrats aren't listening, and now if it's a Democrat saying it, well then the Republicans aren't listening. We need to learn how to talk to each other again. We need to learn how to listen, more importantly, to each other again. And if we can do that, we can actually learn how to teach our children. And then we, of course, can ask the proper question, which is our children learning?